What is going on, guys?
I
Welcome
bought
to the...
PS5!
Fucking hell.
I'm going now. I'm part of the gang.
Right off the bat.
I also platinum Devil May Cry 5 a while ago, in case people didn't know.
I wasn't expecting that so soon. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Platinum Podcast, where we talk about all things gaming, things PlayStation, and things trophies.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
I'm your host, Lewis, also known as Father Platinus, also known as PlatinumBro. I'm joined by my handsome as ever both co-hosts, GuyFarruski. This is just coming off as I talk. GuyFarruski and VaultBoySteve. How are you both doing on this fine day?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
I'm doing saucy.
Yours is buzzing. He's got a PS5.
Yeah.
I've got my kinky elf. I'm buzzing about that.
We're all Christmas themed today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, keep it on your shoulder.
I'm trying to. It's got Velcro. It'll work.
It's either your good elf or your bad elf.
It's a naughty elf, apparently. I don't know where these things come from.
He's gonna whisper evil things or sexual things in your ear, and you're gonna.
He's gonna whisper new porn sites to you.
New? Like I could find new ones?
There's more.
There's always new. Always.
The Fruski Hub. Coming soon. 2023. It's coming.
We've already got it. It's our only fans.
I'll still done up to that, but yeah, now that it's out there.
So yes, guys, Platinum Podcast. We're gonna be talking about. It's the end of the year. It's the end of 2022. You know, what a year, right? We're going to be talking about our usual nonsense, as you may have already witnessed. We're also going to be talking about our awards. So you had your chance to vote on the best platinum, the hardest platinum, the most disappointing game, best game of 2022, and your favourite, for the first time ever, your favourite guest on the Platinum Podcast. We had 6 guests this year, not including Steve, because Steve he's here all the time now, and he's now an official co-host. He's no longer a cameo guest. He's here for life.
And the official bad smell.
Yeah. As you know, as Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day said, he said the only chance that us three are going to depart from Green Day is in coffins. It is like the same with the Platinum Podcast, I feel. No one's going anywhere anytime soon.
No, definitely not. Even if you wanted to get rid of me, I'd still just like make a little cameo every now and then.
Yeah, just shout it, just scream at the mic that you've got a PS5.
I'd be outside your window, just like throwing stones at your window.
That's amazing. I want that to happen now. Not if we ever disband the podcast. So we'll start usually. This is I was going for a full Father Christmas, but this is literally just like falling off. We'll go for
it muffles your voice as well. I was going to say that
muffly,
before.
Proper muffly. We'll start with our usual, the favorite section by Adam McDermott, which is what games have we been playing. So while I take this off, I'll let you, Joel, tell us all about your PS5 and what games you've been playing.
I've not actually played any PS5 games on it. Emma's played Astro's Playroom. I've been playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I've almost platinumed. And then next, I'll be playing The Witcher 3, which I'm very, very excited for.
Oh, exciting times.
I can't wait to jump back on it. I did a little poll of what people wanted to see in that, and The Witcher 3 got like 95% yeses. So it has to be done. Has to be done. I also want to give a little special thank you to good old Steve for my early Christmas present. So thank you, Steve.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
That is your PS5 warming present right there.
Now, now me and Lewis can boost.
You can indeed.
I can't wait. I was literally just about to ask you, will you boost with me?
Always. I was disappointed we're able to do FIFA. Have you got FIFA 23? Because I've got FIFA 23.
I don't, mate.
No.
I'm staying away from it. I just can't take 160 hours I spent in FIFA the last year on my PS wrap up. So no deal, no dice.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I need to do YouTube and play other games. I said I played Elden Ring last year, and here we are. I am playing it now.
This was why you haven't played it. It was everything happens for a reason, and this was why you didn't have the chance to play it, because now we can play together.
You know, it was fate.
Yeah.
And the stars.
Yeah. Definitely.
When I'm struggling and I'm about to die, I'll just see some player just spawn from some light, and he'll just have a little GuyFarruski above his head, and I'll be like,
and then do considerably worse.
Yeah,
because we'll die a lot faster.
Just kill me, and I'll be like, thank you so much.
It's the content we all want.
Not the hero I wanted, but the hero we need. The hero I deserve. Someone will come up and just hit me from behind, and then leave the game. Just take my loot and leave the game. Never be seen ever again.
That's the plan. That is the plan.
Yeah.
So you get me boost with Joel.
Stab him back.
Chaos incarnate.
Yeah.
Chaos incarnate. What about you, Steve-O? What have you been playing?
The one game I can mention is the Callisto Protocol.
Why can you only
Mm.
mention one game for the viewers?
Because of my 30-day platinum challenge that I decided to take up upon.
30-day platinum challenge.
Mm.
Tell
30
me more.
days. 30 days, 30 platinums. Inspired by Mystic, as we all know. Ryan's epic quest he's done twice now. I thought I've always wanted to try it. And this was the perfect storm, perfect time to actually jump in.
So we're on the 17th of December now. Are you feeling full of vigour and encouragement and motivated, or is it making you want to jump off a bridge?
Combination. I'm still motivated, but I've gone through to even attempt this. I've had to do many nights without sleep, which is pretty typical for me. But it's different when you try and play through games. And I'm not a rusher. I take my time through games, sweet ass time. But I'm essentially having to speedrun games almost every day and rush through them with a mountain of collectibles as well, which is even more daunting.
How are you finding Callisto?
Callisto was done. It took me. This is where the burnout came in. It took me 3 days to actually do Callisto, despite the fact that I had about 13 hours playtime. But I was so distracted and just tired and drained in every way that I just couldn't actually focus on the game. But when I did and got through it, as a big fan of Dead Space, it's clearly heavily inspired by it. It's got its flaws that could be ironed out for a sequel, but I heavily enjoyed the game. Heavily. I just want some improvements made to it.
So do you think the reviews have been a bit harsh, or are they spot on, or?
I'd say they have been harsh because people have been comparing it to Dead Space, which is unfair because it's the same developers, the same original studio, same creator, so it's obviously a spiritual successor. You're going to have some similarities, right? But it's trying to do a new direction. I think the combat is the main problem. It is way too easy, even on maximum security, which is what you jump on for your... Which you can glitch that trophy. I recommend you don't, because it'll be more fun. But regardless, the combat is so easy where you've got a dodge system, because it's heavily melee focused as well, which I never found the game scary. I got jump scares, but I never got the Dead Space atmospheric horror. What's that noise? Are we going horror now? Talking about atmospheric horror.
Yeah, we're definitely going horror.
That's it's our PlayStation 4. Don't worry about it.
Yes, there you go. Jet engines are off.
Just try to turn God of War Ragnarok on, and I think they might erupt and kill everybody.
It's not even that. That's just a web browser booting up.
Yeah. I need to clear those cookies. I can't handle it at all.
Yeah.
It's actually my fridge. It has this thing of just decide that it wants to just break and start blasting off. So that's a fridge down there.
You know what though? It's appropriate because it sounds very horroristic, so it fits the vibe.
I'm scared.
Yeah, the timing couldn't have been better.
But yeah, combat-wise, the problem with it is when it comes to the game, the fear's taken away because you're up close melee, and for most of the game, you can kill almost every enemy with melee. It's got a dodge mechanic like Resident Evil 3, where you just...
Last of Us Part 2?
I've not played... No, I've played that. I can't remember that. My memory is horrible, isn't it? It's like a fish finger. It stopped. But yeah, basically...
With custard.
With custard, of course. That's why the memory is so bad. It's toxic chemicals. When you're dodging, essentially, you need to press left or right on the stick. It doesn't matter what arm they're swinging at you. It's irrelevant. But with that, if you don't turn the assist on for dodge assist and accessibility, you can never dodge the same direction twice. So you just got to dodge left, dodge right, dodge left, dodge right until they stop, and then you can just beat the crap out of them. Yeah, essentially, Muhammad Ali, full like a butterfly,
like One Punch Man in the in the hero. What was it? The tests he did where he has to step side to side. Yeah.
So does that mean, Steve, that in theory you could beat the whole game without getting hit once?
You definitely could, but
a trophy.
It should, but you usually do get... Most of the enemies, sometimes they do kind of wait in line, and they'll come at you one-on-one, but you can get taken from behind quite a lot, and not in that way.
I'd enjoy that. I need to play this now.
Oh, we all enjoy it. There's a lot of tentacles in it as well, so there you go. Get your hentai on. But yeah, that's the main draw of it, because you can infinitely dodge. You just don't... There's no thingy. What I was thinking was, what would make it so much better is if you had the stamina system in there, so you could only dodge a certain amount of times in a row before you got tired.
Definitely.
And then that would increase the fear and the horror of the combat significantly.
So I never played Dead Space. Could you not dodge in Dead Space?
No.
At all?
And in Dead Space, the melee was the opposite. Melee was the last resort. You would not want to have to use melee.
Right.
All this is flipped around on its head.
So essentially, for a horror game, it doesn't really give you the survival instinct thing.
No, and I had plenty of supplies, even ammo-wise, because again, you can just save them up with using the melee, and you're fine. And
what's the main character called?
Jacob.
So it's kind of like in Dead Space, do not go near these grotesque aliens because they will rip you apart. But in Callisto Protocol, it's Jacob's damn, that's one scary as alien. Good thing I got this pipe. Let's give him a go.
It's his king. You can't blame the guy, but
he loves it.
I mean, Again, there's only like one enemy in the game. Maybe a few that you need to actually use your guns on, but again, you can print so much ammo and do so much stuff. It's not really scary in that sense.
I like the force pull where you just blast people and they're like robots and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's called the grip, the GRP. It's essentially kinesis module from Dead Space. I don't think you've got to charge it in Dead Space. It's just that's your stasis, but you do have to charge it in here. It'll recharge over time. You can upgrade it, and you can get batteries to use in the middle of combat, and it becomes really OP. So again, you can kill enemies with environmental hazards. It's a big part of the game.
I want to play it now. Out of 10, what would you give it? I'm really curious.
You got to take it into account. I'd say like maybe a solid 8, because I really did enjoy the story, the setting, the visuals. I played it at 30 FPS because of ray tracing, and it felt smooth as butter. And
nice.
It was. I love the story. It's like I would do the PS4 stack eventually down the line.
Like when I saw the reviews, I was like, the reviews just didn't match up with the gameplay that I was looking at, and I was like, it just seems so harsh. Like it's not a massive budget game, and it's like the remade the original team did Dead Space 15 years ago, and obviously they want to do a spiritual successor because obviously that was their gameplay style.
Yeah.
So you can't blame them for making a similar game when it's what they want to make. They're just kind of taken from them by EA. Yeah. So it's like, well, you can't blame them for it, and it might not be perfect. It's taking a spin, and it might not everything's worked, but they're an indie developer, or maybe not an indie game, but a AA title. It came out. Was it £40-50 at launch?
Yep, pretty much. I paid 40 for it.
Yeah, AAA games come out at 70. Like it came out not advertised as a full AAA title game. I think a lot of people have treated it like that because it's such a big game, because the hype is so big, but it's not. And I think people have to remember that, and I think people have to stop being so overly critical. Some reviewers have been a bit mixed on it and said, look, there's some amazing things here, but it has bugs and it needs to be maybe polished for future, which I think is pretty fair.
It was fairly buggy free when I played it. I got an update the last day I finished the game, because of course, why not last day play it? But there was I think I've got 1 or 2 bugs tops in the entire game. It was fairly smooth that way. It was quite impressive considering the studio was small.
Nice.
What did it get? Was it 5?
No, it varies, like 5 from some places. Most user scores, I'm pretty sure, come around 7. So more users are being fair towards it.
Not too bad then.
Well, considering the fact that that's decent, considering you always get hundreds of negative reviews of zeros and stuff. Like I've seen some games that I've been like playing recently. I've been like, this game's fantastic. Going to Metacritic and someone's been like 0. You're like,
Was it that waifu game?
Yeah. No, that's only got 10s.
I think it's because some people are just getting really salty about it and wanting Dead Space, and it's like, look, Dead Space Remake is coming out next month, so you can buy that instead. And people are like, right, oh, this isn't what I want. This is not Dead Space. Oh, but I'll buy Dead Space next month. Yeah. Even though it's like, I've seen the meme of that. People was like, right, this game is too much like Dead Space. I don't want it. Send it back. Oh, I'm buying Dead Space next month. It's like, stop being so fickle.
Why?
It's original, right? It's a new experience. Just enjoy it.
It's like when Lord of the Rings TV show came out, and like after one episode it had like hundreds of zeros out of 10. You're like, it's not even out, it's not even finished yet. Be like, this is not Tolkien's experience. I've read all the books, and this is not what Tolkien would want. Well, no, he didn't direct it. They've taken his idea and they've put a spin on it, and you're giving it a 0 out of 10 when it's not even finished. Like, come on,
it's just
bro.
petty, right? It's petty.
Yeah, entitled as well.
Yeah,
like being like, oh, this is not what I wanted, therefore it's a 0. It's not your game. It's not your story. It's someone else's. You're just experiencing it, bro. Well, it took a turn here. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
I've been playing Chivalry 2 and God of War Ragnarok. And I started God of War, kind of dropped off a little bit. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but there's just some slow sections in the game. Have you played, Steve? So there's some slow sections there. I'm not going to spoil that at all. Just about 6-7 hours in, you hit this bit where it's like an hour long and it's so slow. And I was like, I finished it. I was just like, okay, I'm a little bit bored. I'm not going to lie. And then I went and did Chivalry 2, and I was like, my god, this game is absolutely hilarious, and it is one of the best games I've ever played. This is the game that when I went on the reviews, I reviewed it, actually went on Metacritic and gave it a review. I gave it an 8 out of 10, because it's absolutely carnage. I've streamed it if you want to watch any of the streams and stuff. I'm going to be doing a video on it on the Platinum eventually. I don't want to talk about the Platinum because it's had a few ups and downs, which I want to say for the video, but it is hilarious. It's so fun with people. I play with about 6 different people. And it's just amazing. It's 32v32 with swords. You're running around, absolute carnage. And there's times where you're like taking a bridge, and the bridge is like only like wide enough for 8 people. So you have literally 32 people just charging on this bridge. You're just there like flailing your axe, and there's like 5 people either side of you, 5 people behind you. And it's just like this mush, and it's like you actually feel like you're in a war. And you're like, God, I'd hate to be doing this in real life. I just pound some guy's head in with a mace. Yeah, you kill somebody. Like, yes, I kill somebody. Then you just get your head blown up, clean off with like a spear or something. You're like, wow.
The streams, I will say, are hilarious as well. They've been epic.
Where I was just such a different experience. And people were saying it's a 0 out of 10 because the lobbies don't work. Yeah, the multiplayer. It's a multiplayer game only. We can play it offline, but it wouldn't be the same. The multiplayer, the lobbies and stuff leave room for improvement. Let's say, but it doesn't. You can't give it a 0 out of 10 because sometimes you get kicked out of a game. But some people did. But I highly recommend it. But it's a bit glitchy. That's all I'll say. All I'll say.
Worth it just for the bridge segment.
Honestly, it makes you realize, right? Do you know, like in films and stuff, you'll see like 10 people fight each other, and there'll be some archer shooting everybody at the top, and you're like, why doesn't someone just go kill the archer? Now I always thought that. But actually, we were doing this part where you're defending this. You're in a town, and you're trying to stop them pushing the siege weapon. It's just like 10 of us on the siege weapon, another 10, and there's like someone shooting. But like you're in like a line, and no one's communicating, right? And everyone's in this like a line together, and you're like, oh, we need to kind of get him. Soon you step out, everyone just swarms you, just destroys you instantly. Like that's why no one leaves the line. That's why you don't ever break away from the line, because you just get wiped out immediately. It was really interesting, but also difficult, but funny.
Good old history. Good old history.
That's it. And I feel like now, after that, my weapon of choice would be either a hammer or a mace, because you just have to hit it. Swords have too much technique for me. I don't have the coordination to way around a sword.
Yeah, I mean, if you hit someone across the head with a hammer, like if it doesn't kill them, it'll at least daze them for a bit.
Oh, you'll do a good job. You'll do something.
Yeah,
it's like prehistoric bro goes smash.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Just down. Next one, and you got big shields. You're fine. The game does make shields last 2 seconds though. Like I think it hits last 3 hits. You're just like, stand on this little sword, like trying to deflect against 8 different people. I've had a few epic moments as well, though, where like you've been like, it's like 4v4, and then before you know it, everyone's dead. It's just you, and then you've like killed them all. And you like stand there, just like,
you got the clutch, man.
God.
I'm a god
amongst men. And someone just stabs you in the back with like a little throws like an axe across the map and just hits you in the head. And you're like, oh my god. Or kicks you off a ledge or something. They're the worst. Someone like kicks you into fire and you just go up blaze like you're covered in like petrol. You're like, ah! You're like, this is not realistic now. The game was so realistic before.
It's like Homelander, go fly, little one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good old Homelander.
Should we move on to our main section?
Let's.
Should I devour this before we go?
Oh yes, of course.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that.
I was trying to forget.
You mentioned being saucy at the beginning, and I was going to say something about it, and then I just completely left my mind.
So last episode with Char 3-Point Gaming, we were talking about some weird concoctions of food, and I don't even remember saying this exact one because I was just riffing off some horrible ideas. And I suggested Steve, as last time, he's eaten some crazy things, and last year he did eat a 4-month-old, 6-month-old Jammy Dodger, and I think we should make this a tradition every year. The podcast, the Platinum Awards, Steve eats something absolutely revolting. So Steve, what have you got for us?
Well, you suggested it was in the WhatsApp chat. A Reese's peanut butter cup with gravy. However, I messed up. I did my gravy, but too little. It's literally gelatinous, upside down, gravity defying, whatever that is. So yeah, I thought that's good. I smeared it on the cup, like Nutella.
Oh, that's just
that actually looks like just caramel spread.
Bisto.
Oh, that's just gross. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see this.
I'm excited.
So, are you going to go for one bite, Steve? Or are you going to just eat a whole?
All in one, right?
What a Chad.
Are you gonna lick a bit of the top first?
That texture of that is not nice.
That's some thick gravy.
You have to eat it all in one.
Just like Mama used to make it. Always put it in his mouth.
You know what? You can't taste the gravy.
You can't.
That American commercialized poisonous peanut butter.
You need to put a massive scoop of gravy in your mouth now while you've still got the
peanut butter. Right now.
Dude, I've not got my spoon anymore. Oh, yeah.
Just use your finger.
Just finger it.
Get off, you bastard. Right. Oh, dude.
There you go. Get that down, your son. That looks worse than the actual thing.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone chew gravy so aggressively before.
You know what?
I don't think gravy's meant to be chewed.
It's not.
The problem is, it's the texture of it because it's like jelly.
Very nice.
Oh, and why not?
Oh, Steve.
And that was gravy going on my floor, by the way.
Excellent. Do you remember this day? The gravy stain.
Oh!
Oh, he's not liking that bit. Oh, he's struggling with that. He's struggling.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how delicious is it?
On a scale of 1 to gravy, how delicious is it? Oh, his eyes are watering.
It's gone.
It's this
How's
like,
the-
I'm a
how's the-
celeb, get me out of here.
How's the aftertaste?
Beefy.
You need another Reese's Pieces just to wash it down.
Oh,
Oh, it's gone. Yeah. Oh,
Happy
you've wasted an opportunity to have more gravy and Reese's peanut butter.
I finished the gravy.
He's finished the gravy, all of it.
I think we should have suggestions from people on the internet of
What
what
Steve should eat.
what next year's going to be.
Or just what the next episode's going to be. Just make it an
Yeah.
absolutely monthly
One per
thing.
episode. Yeah.
Steve does
Yeah.
something horrible. You know.
And then we could add it onto the end of year awards next year of like which one was the worst one.
Joel, you onto something there. And this is going to happen now. Every
I just
episode,
love making lists. I'll make a list out of anything.
a list of lists.
Yeah.
All right, next time. Well, I know what. We'll let you vote
Yeah.
what you think Steve should eat next, and then we'll have a think, and we'll have a little look. See, we'll have a little review, and we'll have a think. I mean, I want to think something horrible now, something worse. 'Cause
Yeah,
something
disgusting.
Like that wasn't.
I mean, the gravy looked like it was the worst part, Steve, but you look like you enjoyed the Reese's peanut butter with gravy on.
Oh, yeah.
Something that shouldn't be put together like.
Mate, I've had baked beans and Weetabix. Reese's cup and gelatinous thick ass gravy. Weetabix and tea. Fish fingers and custard.
How about? I've got to think of like a saucy sauce. How about a blueberry muffin covered in curry,
Like that's easy, mate.
but like chippy curry,
Chip shop curry.
or maybe Madras curry. Are you into spicy food?
Ooh.
You know I can even lose and just like
Yeah, that's right. So a blueberry muffin covered in Madras sauce.
Sounds pretty horrible.
not vindaloo.
Or
Yeah.
vindaloo. I mean, either
Why
one.
not?
I mean, anything like Madras vindaloo or like just chip shop curry, just anything like that on a muffin just sounds absolutely horrendous.
It does.
You can see my plan there, vindaloo. So it's so hot it destroys your taste buds. So you can't taste it regardless.
Yeah, but you can always experience the texture, though, Steve. Texture is what
Yeah.
gets you.
To be fair, there was a texture here that was a problem.
Yeah.
The texture just...
That's something big gag. It was a texture.
we need to think
texture.
something really horrible texture, because I feel like a muffin would just melt, though. Put a bit of spice on it, it would just wither away.
Or it will absorb it.
It'd become
Could
like
go-
a flaming blueberry ball.
Yeah, it could go either way.
It could. Well, we're going to have to find out, aren't we? Unless someone's got a better suggestion, we're all ears.
Yeah.
We're all ears.
Think of a way to torture me. I dare you.
All right. So it's time. I need to get the thing up because I'm so prepared. For the Platinum Awards. So you all had your votes. And we had 400 people vote, which is pretty nice.
400.
400 people voted.
Wow.
So we're going to go through each section, and we're going to go for, I will tell you the top 3 of each section. Maybe a few special mentions here and there, but it just doesn't want to load. Why would it? You know what I mean? I'll just close down some tabs. Let's close down some of the hub tabs. Some of my bookmarks.
Get the X videos down as well.
Make sure you got it saved so you can go back to it.
Download it later, it's fine.
Dedicated folders for that.
Yeah.
You categorize them per kink.
Exactly. Right, so our sections are best game of 2022, worst game of 2022, best platinum trophy, hardest platinum trophy, most disappointing game, and best guest on the Platinum podcast for this year. So we've had 6 different categories. Admittedly, I only added the best guest like 5 days ago, so we only actually got 100 votes on that one. But the rest of them all have about 400 on, which is good. So the actual games, so that the games are all very... I made the same list of games for every category. So the list of games are Last of Us Part 1, Marvel Midnight Suns, Stray, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Sifu, Gotham Knights, Dying Light 2, Callisto Protocol, Ghostwire Tokyo, Horizon Forbidden West, My Name is Mayo 2, Plague Tale Requiem, Sonic Frontiers, Overwatch 2, A Trek to Yomi, and Tunic.
Wow.
A lot of games. I went ham. I didn't want anybody to say, oh, you've left some game out. So they're like the biggest 17 games that came out this year. Obviously, I might have missed a few. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 only, but everyone had the chance to vote for their own as well. So, best game of 2022. Do we have any predictions?
I'm going to say it's going to be between Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring's definitely going to be in the top 3. God of War, maybe. I've not played it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Steve-O?
I think maybe. Yeah.
I'm predicting God of War. The amount of people that have been playing it recently, that's going to be up there. I'd say maybe God of War, Last of Us, and Elden Ring. Going to be like top 3.
You're kind of partially correct. Do you have any guess for third place, Joel?
My name is Mayo 2.
My name is Mayo 2. Did it come out? 3.
3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at it here. Right. Actually, you know what? One game got 41% of all the votes, and one game got 29% of all the votes. So between these two games, they got 70% of all votes, which is just absolutely staggering. So in third place, with only 24 votes, was Stray.
I can understand that. I played that one, and it was a cute game. It was quite charming, but it was boring. It's more of a chill thing. You just play it. Yeah.
I didn't play it, but after seeing this, and I've heard a few people talk quite positively about Stray, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. It's on PS Plus Extra.
They should make a follow-up now called Tramp, where you play as a dog.
Nice. I'm all for that.
And instead of like having that trophy, you have to sleep for an hour in real time. You have to like cock your leg and piss on someone's leg for an hour, or maybe a collective of legs.
I never need the third game though, the Capybara game, the proper one. You know, okay, I pull up. That's got to be the final one. Complete triad.
One person voted for FIFA 23, which didn't add in. We've got one vote for Gran Turismo. We've got 2 votes for Gotham Knights as best game. Blimey.
I bet Zach voted for FIFA.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
to justify his addiction.
Yeah, I bet he did. So in second place with 105 votes, 29% of all votes, is Elden Ring.
Second place? No, I would have thought that would have good first place. I'd say first place would be God of War now then.
I'm thinking Last of Us now, maybe.
You reckon?
Whoa.
Yeah, I am, because, it's
been
been out longer.
I think this one's the most predictable, to be honest, and I think, I'm going to just tell you, Last of Us only got 10 votes, so it got 2.8% of all votes. And in first place with 41.7% of all votes is God of War Ragnarok. It's the biggest game of the year, though, isn't it? So it's not necessarily the hardest game, it's just the game everyone's played the most, which is a great game. I haven't played Elden Ring, so I generally can't attest to it. I've only played Last of Us Part 1 and God of War Ragnarok. And I don't know which game I think is better. I think probably Last of Us Part 1. I think it's probably better.
I mean, essentially, The Last of Us is a remake of a remake of a remaster.
Yeah.
Of a game.
The God of War Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok is very much just like very samey to the original game. 2018 game. It very much feels like not much. It's hard. Like the gameplay, part of it's changed, part of it hasn't, and I don't know. Like I found that the side quests. Every time I've went to do a side quest, I've almost turned the game off out of boredom.
Ouch.
Really?
But then when I've been doing the main game, I'm like, this story is absolutely fantastic.
You know what though? That sounds like Ghost of Tsushima for me.
Yeah,
it's a side quest that was making me stop playing it.
I thought that as soon as you said it.
The God of War map really frustrates me as well because it's shit. It's awful. It's like because it's open world, but it's like it's not open world like Ghost of Tsushima. Like most games, it's like there's like it's linear in a sense that you move from place to place, kind of like Star Wars Fallen Order. So every single area has a map. And you're just like, it's just navigating through these maps and stuff's just frustrating. But
is it worse than the Fallen Order map though? Because I mean, Joe's going through that right now.
Well, the thing about the Fallen Order map, which makes it so annoying, is the fact it's multi-leveled, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's multi-tiered and it's a hologram as well.
Yeah, it's just like it's not that hard.
You can't fast travel either, which is just stupid. Think of the length of a map, which is quite long, and it's got so many different areas. Then you have to backtrack the whole thing. It just seems pointless to me.
For me, it was just Kashyyyk. That was when I was just like, oh my god, what am I doing? Where am I?
That's where I am now.
Yeah. He's like, please stop.
Yeah, it's
God of War also has a ridiculous amount of puzzles in it.
Good puzzles though? That's the question.
They're hard.
No.
Just tedious,
they're really tedious and boring. It's just literally just 3 racks to spin something to jump across. Or use your blades to burn something. And you're like,
oh sure, Santa Monica, for sure.
You're like, oh, and there's so many of them. And that's the thing about the side quests. All the side quests are just like small combat encounters. All the ones I've played, I haven't played every combat. I haven't played every one. I've only played the game for 18 hours. The ones I've played so far. There's been a few bosses which have been cool. like side quest bosses, which is really fun. But then there's just where I'm at now. I've literally just done 3 side quests in straight, and they were just all of them were like 20% walking around. No, well, 50% walking around, 20% fighting, 30% puzzles, and you're just like, oh, please stop, please stop. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say it's not a great game. I do think it's a solid. The first one was a 10 out of 10. I think this one so far feels like a 9 out of 10. That's what I'd say.
Well, hardly anything's perfect, right?
No.
Everything's got its flaws.
I think maybe the first one got a 10 out of 10 because of how long the gap was between the last God of War game. Everybody loved God of War, and then we finally got it, and it was done. It was executed near perfection.
Definitely.
I agree.
And now, because this one is like, it doesn't hit you the same because it's the same gameplay as 2018. It's not that long ago, although it's like 3 years ago.
Oh, but
Well, 4 years ago. It's not that long ago.
I agree.
I still think this is 2020 part 2. The next year's 2020 part 3.
No, Joe, I agree. I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's like
it's-
the combat was so ingenious in 2018, and now you've seen it before, and it's still amazing. But like, the game's longer as well. It's so long, and I don't know why like developers have to flex for how long their games are. Like, I think the big games have to like have this pressure to be over 30 hours long. Like, why can't a campaign just be 25 hours? Like The Last of Us Part 1, and then that's enough. Like, why does it have to be like 50 hours?
Exactly. You want a crafted experience, right? It's going to be a good story. Like Callisto, you can do it in like 6 to 8 hours on the lower difficulty, but that's good because you get a solid story. You aren't going to be bored.
Yeah. But the main missions are so well choreographed. The story in that is absolutely fantastic. So, like, it's just the side stuff. It's just like in the games, like, the side, like, your companions are like, oh, well, you know, I've got some stuff to do here. If you want to stay around, we're going to do some side quests. I'm like, well, not really, but
Nah.
you're telling me I have to stay. So I'll just get on my boat. Oh, I went the wrong way because the map's bloody shit. Turn around. Oh, wait, no, I was going that right way, actually. Back we'll go. Oh, there's a few little areas you can stop off at just to fight some enemies to get a chest, but realistically, like, I think, some hack silver, which I still can't use because the big upgrades are locked behind story progressions as well. So, like, to upgrade your axes and the chaos blades and upgrade your armor and stuff, you need to get craftable items that you can only find as the game progresses. So it's kind of like, well, there's actually no point in doing most of the side stuff because you can't upgrade anything. You're just doing it for the
But then
sake of doing it.
again, that just makes the end game grind even more boring.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I was like, well, if I don't do it now, I'm gonna have to do it later.
Exactly. Like the way I play a game is if whatever I can do at the time, I'll do it at the time to avoid being bored
But
at
Joe,
the end of it.
it's the thing. This is what's got in, which I don't like. It has, do you like Dark? I don't know if you play Darksiders, the old school games where it's like, here's the map. Okay, you're free to roam, but there's a little ledge, and you don't have the equipment to get there yet. So you're gonna have to backtrack regardless.
Star Wars is the same.
So it's like, well, I might as well not do it now. I might as well not do 50% of the collectibles and 50% of the side quests now, and then get somewhere. Take us 10 minutes to get there to be like, oh, actually, I can't clear this level of the map because I need to get something that I haven't got.
My camera's died.
Stop fapping, Joe.
The camera's
This is
died.
not the time for the fapping. We're not intermission
It's
yet.
back. It's alive.
We're back.
There we
We're
go.
back.
I've just bitched and moaned about the best game of the year by the viewers.
I know. We should change this podcast
Yeah.
to instead of Platinum Cost, that's the bitching podcast.
It's the Bar Humbug edition.
I don't know, like, I played it for 3 hours last night, and I played the first hour and a half when I was on my Discord call with them patrons, and I was like looking at them to be like, I am bored. And then I went off the call, did some story, I was like, oh my god, this game's so amazing.
To be
So I was on
fair,
the story.
what I heard over the mic, you sounded bored.
Yeah. I was just like, R1. I've actually turned the game difficulty down. So when I was playing on the second hardest difficulty and it glitched, so there was a problem with it where if you whatever difficulty you set on, you couldn't change difficulty. I was like, oh, I'm going to play on the second hardest difficulty, and it was hard. I've just turned down the second easiest now, and now I'm just like, ha ha, bang, bang. So, you know, maybe that's making the combat a little bit more boring for us, to be fair, but...
Yeah.
It's you weighing the options, right? Like, right, I want to get through this fast now because this part's boring, so I'm going to lower the difficulty. But now the combat's boring. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. But also, Kratos and
Yeah.
Atreus are gods. Do you really want to be like, oh, hardest difficulty? Oh, I've just been killed by a human. Like, no, you're Kratos. You're a god. Like, you are the strongest being there.
Hmm.
So I want to kick ass and take names. But, you know, here we are.
Kick names and take ass.
Exactly.
I prefer that.
All right, we'll move on. Worst game of
Let's.
2022. The same applies. I've said a lot of games, so I'll just quickly... Do you want to go through them again, or do you want to just throw some names out? What do you think are the worst games?
I'm thinking Gotham Knights is going to be up there.
I thought
thinking-
Gotham Knights was going to be the worst game. I've just turned off it, so I can't say right now. I thought Gotham Knights was going to be the worst. I'm not sure if it is. What do you think, Joel?
Yeah, I think that'll be up there as well.
Hmm.
It didn't get the reception weren't that great. I think Callisto might be up there.
It's a dying shame if it is.
With the reviews.
I'm going to say I'll find Callisto because it's in a little pie chart. So I need
It'd be
to...
a shame if it is because the users seem to generally like the game. It's just it depends if these mainstream reviewers have like put that effect on people, so people think it's bad.
So Callisto Protocol only got 11 votes for worst game of the year.
That's not bad then.
So it's 3% of all votes. Sonic Frontiers got 17 votes at 5%.
Sonic was worse than Callisto.
Really?
There was 3 massive outliers though.
From what I saw, Sonic looks decent.
So in third place got 19% of all votes, and second place got 20.7, and then first got 21.5. And I do not agree with the first worst game. The worst game makes me really sad, actually.
Is it The Last of Us?
Can't tell you that yet. The third worst game, which I think, judging by the reception, with 19% of all votes, is Overwatch 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I even forgot that game was released this year.
Yeah, so it was free to play, and I think in our community of trophy hunters, have they done it where they've added it as DLC to the original game, or they've added?
No, what they've done is they've changed the trophy list, if I'm remembering right. So trophies that you popped on the original game, because people thought it was going to be unobtainable when the launch was coming, so people were panicking. But what they've done is they've just changed descriptions. So trophies you would have got for doing X with X character before, now it's a totally different trophy, but you still got it on yours if you've earned it, if I'm remembering how it works right.
But they
So
have
just
they done it so weird though that you have to do everything, all the trophies, like the same amount of trophies for Overwatch plus new trophies for Overwatch 2 though?
I believe so, because they've added mod. I think it's the same list. I'm pretty sure it's the same stack. They've just changed other trophies around.
So if you have Overwatch 1 now, you now have Overwatch 2 as DLC.
At least from what I remember. I could be
Yeah.
totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it worked.
So everyone who's like struggled through the Platinum Overwatch being like, it was a great game, but the Platinum destroyed me. You're like, well, now you've only got 50% completion, bro.
DLC
Yeah.
trophies.
So play Overwatch 2. Although I hate
Yes.
I hate DLC trophy most of the time. I don't mind it. I don't know, pros and cons, but I totally get why they do it because it brings people back to play. Like,
It's cheap though.
it is cheap. I'm surprised they
cheap.
didn't do it for Avengers. I'm really surprised. I'm really thankful they didn't do it. I'm surprised they didn't do it.
Don't tempt fate.
Oh, that's it. They're all going to come out now. It's going to be like get level 50 with every DLC character.
Morbius,
No.
Morbius DLC.
Do you know what? Do you know from Marvel Midnight Suns? There's 3 characters coming in the new year, right?
Morbius
So-
is one of them.
Morbius, Venom, and Deadpool are coming as playable characters.
Oh,
Michael
yes.
Morbius is going to be in Marvel Midnight Suns.
Matt
Which-
Smith better be in there as well.
Which version of Morbius is it going to be though? The movie version or the comic book version?
All I know is it's Morbin time. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. I can't believe it. It's hilarious. And it's like, they must have thought, they must have been like, guys, are you aware there's a bit of a meme culture around this game? They're like, about this character? Yes. Put it in. It's time to Morb.
Yeah.
It's Morb.
This goes to show why it's good to hold off on this game a few
Yeah.
months. Let the characters get
I know
added
exactly.
to it.
Yeah,
And I think Noel North has come back to reprise Deadpool as well, I think.
Oh, he was great in the Deadpool
he
game.
was great.
Yeah.
He was perfect for that
It
role.
was
I still
so
need.
good.
I need to replay that again.
You do. Yeah, that
Great
plat boy.
game.
Yeah.
I loved it. So funny. Okay, second place is Gotham Knights with 75 votes, 20.7% of all votes.
I'd say it's just. I've not played it, but sub 30 FPS, the lack of full skill co-op we all wanted.
Yeah.
Just 2-player, right?
I mean, I'm really excited for Suicide Squad. I think that's going to be a good game. I don't know about Gotham Knights. I think I might dip my toe into it because like people were saying to us, if you like Outriders, you might like Gotham Knights. But I've read a few things like the characters are really good at traversing after you've unlocked so many unlockables, and it takes like 6 hours to unlock the unlockables to make them actual traversable, like to make them actually have something other than the grapple hook and the bikes. So you're like you know, for Nightwing's little Fortnite glider and stuff, you need to get like play 6 hours to get it. We have to up every character, so there's 4 characters, so you have to just to get them to a level where they're fun to play as, get around the map, 6 hours per character, and I'm like, so it kind of locks you into playing as one character because you don't want to. I don't know how to even play as because Nightwing's my favorite, but then their Fortnite glider was just awful. So, I don't know, no idea.
What he's been trying to say is Tyler's been calling him down the phone constantly, going, "Get Gotham Knights, get Gotham Knights, get Gotham Knights. Play co-op with me."
Kind of if you haven't planned it yet, maybe I will someday. We'll have a little romantic time
Yeah. When he releases a video.
when he finally gets a video. He needs to get a video out first. I mean, literally last time he was on the podcast, he's like, "Our video's next week."
I
That
know,
was
yeah.
6 months ago, and he still hasn't done a video.
We're watching you, boy.
We're watching you. We're watching you.
Uh,
And then the worst game, which I don't agree with,
Ugh.
fundamentally do not agree with. 21.5% of all votes. I've played this game. Is My Name is
So
Neil
after this-
3.
Ah,
My Name is Neil 3.
no.
So I played 3 games that came out launch this year. Last was Part 1, God of War Ragnarok, and My Name is Neil 3. My Name is Neil 3 is the best of those 3. It got the worst game. The worst game.
That's horrendous.
It is just awful. Like, you knew...
Fake news.
It is, this channel's fake news.
Fake news.
I almost voted for Mayo 3, just out of generalness, like the worst game from that list. And I was like, no, it's too much of a meme to vote for. So I think I clicked on Other and I put Jumping Diabolical Shenanigans.
You know,
Because they are the worst games.
of the best
Yeah.
games, and the votes for best game 2022, 13 people voted for My Name is Neil as the best game. Memes, chads, love it. So yeah, it's the worst game of 2022 apparently. My Name is Mayo.
Nah,
Meme is Mayo is the worst game, and I'm so
I'm not
sad
having
about it.
I'm not having it.
My Name is Chad 3 was a great game. I streamed the platinum and it was fantastic on my birthday stream. It was before. I mean, Emily played a bit of it. To be fair, he was like just sitting there pressing X for me.
I still need to play 2 and 3. I reckon I can get Emma to do that. She did that with Injustice.
You should. Get to do My Name is Mayo 2 and you'll be like, hey, what is this? That was a London accent. I can't do a Manchester accent at all.
No, I can't either. I was going to try, but I can't.
I was going to try as well, but there's no point.
Okay,
It's
so
probably similar to me.
just shocking.
Yeah.
So best platinum of 2022. Now of this, there's actually right. So of all those games, 17 games plus what people voted for, it's actually really spread out. This one. So there's actually 5 games. One game has 7% of votes, which doesn't sound like much, but then there's one with 12%, one with 16, one with 22, and one with 25. So actually, there's a few standouts here. And in 4th place, so this doesn't really get a place on the podium, but gets a special mention. Actually, in 5th place is My Name is Mayo.
Yeah!
Yes! 26 people voted for My Name is Mayo 3 as the best platinum of 2022. And I'm all
How
for
can
it.
people vote for it as the worst game but the best platinum list?
Because the platinum is obviously amazing, that's why. And we all know it. And then in 4th place was The Last of Us Part 1. 50 people voted for it.
I thought that'd be in there. Because considerably easier than the original,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, the game looks amazing. It's so perfect. This version of the game. A lot of people are like, oh, is it worth it? Blah, blah, blah. And I've always said it's worth it if you think it's worth it to you. But it is the best way. It's the most definitive way to play the experience. If you've never played any game, any of the Last of Us games, it is the best way to play it. Jump on for this first, then go back to Last of Us, then play Last of Us Part 2 on PS4, because it's 60 frames now anyway. And the remastered obviously is harder, and you get to play factions, which is amazing. Which they said they're going to be releasing a multiplayer game, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Separate though, innit?
Yeah. Which I will definitely buy and play, because factions was so much fun.
I think it was really underrated. It was pretty awesome all the way through.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you know what, getting the platinum, having to do like 2 whole playthroughs, which it worked out about, is it 80 days per team, which meant you
For the factions, yeah, you've got to do a full cycle of them. It takes about, I don't know, 12 hours, I think, per one if you're constant player.
Yeah, and I think there's a way to do it where you can play 3 and skip 1, can't you?
You can, yeah.
Which I did a few times, but...
And you can also quit out and avoid losing, like, survivors and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're going to be low.
But it's, so you're looking at, like, it's maybe, like, 100 games. But it is really fun. It's really good online. It's really exciting. It's, like, you're quite slow but intense, and also it's crazy at times. People just sprint around trying to get kills and stuff, and yeah, it's a good, and I think the factions will be even better. If they're polishing their own standalone multiplayer game, I think it'll be excellent. I'll definitely play it and try and get the plat for it as well. So actually getting onto our actual 3rd place, so the 3rd best platinum voted by the viewers, the trophy hunters, is Stray. 16%. Isn't there a really annoying speedrun trophy in it though?
There's a speedrun trophy, but it's for doing it under 2 hours, which wouldn't be too bad if you followed the guide or you just know the game in general. It's quite linear, so as long as you know where to go, you're fine. And you can do a lot of the little fetch quests before. If you know where characters are, you can just get out of the way to save a few minutes here and there. Worst trophy in it is the alleyway one.
You have to
because
do.
you've got to...
Is it without getting hit?
Yeah, there's these things that eat everything called Zerks, like little like fat things. Are almost like the adipose from Doctor Who, that episode. Essentially, you got to run through an alleyway. This is the first time you encounter them, and you've got to get through the segment, which is about 30 seconds without getting jumped on. But it's completely, everyone says it's RNG, because I tried it several times and you zigzag, but sometimes you'll get grabbed regardless. So it's just like one of those.
So when you did your speedrun, how long did it actually take you to do?
Just under 2 hours, I think. I
Was
didn't
it-
time the actual run.
Did you do it first time?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, so it's easy enough to do.
I mean, I had Crimson as well on the headset, but still.
Was he encouraging you through it?
Yes.
It's like spurring you on.
He's like a coach. It's like, you will do this. It's like, I'll tell you. I'll give you the encouragement. I'll tell you what
You've
to do.
got this, son. You've got this. You know what we'll do from there? I'll ask you both, because I was going to write it down, but I'll forget. Actually, no, we'll save it, actually. I want to know what your best plats are for the year, but we'll save it. We'll finish this section off. So in second place, best Platinum 2022 is Elden Ring. I thought that would have won best Platinum. Personally.
I'm pondering what could have got the first place now.
That's probably going to be God of War.
God of War is the best game, the best Platinum voted for.
Yeah,
It was close.
I thought it would have been.
It was close, like, so God of War got 26% of all votes, Elden Ring got just under 23. So there was only 12 votes separating them apart. But I would have said Elden Ring just purely because it's a bit harder and it's more impressive, right? People are, like, quite proud of their Soulsborne Platinums, whereas God of War's not really I don't know, it's not really that much of a difficult Platinum or impressive. But
yeah, what's required for Ragnarok? Is it just like upgrade all certain weapons, finish the game, do all the side quests, that kind of thing?
yeah, I think it's similar to the first one. To be honest, I'm not too sure. I haven't even looked at anything yet. I'm just going to get through the story first, and then I'm going to take it from there. So
Best practice.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But yeah, so we're setting some trends here. We're seeing some trends anyway, clearly, because of the fact that God of War and Elden Ring. Did Elden Ring win Best Game of the Year on the Game Awards, or was it God of War?
It was Elden Ring. Because that's when that kid got on stage and went behind.
Kicked off. What did he actually do?
He got on stage, he just walked on with the developers, and he just stood behind them as they're all giving the awards out, and then he walked over to the mic and started talking to it and giving like a speech, and he mentioned something about Bill Clinton or something. So yeah, Jeff Keighley was not pleased.
Oh, I bet. Did the security have to escort him off?
Yeah.
Excellent. That's a brave man.
It's the UK though, so it'll worse to get a warning or a charge for trespass.
Like, don't do this. Goodbye.
What a legend.
Yeah. All right, gents, what was your best platinums? What was your best platinum of this year?
See,
Go on, Steve.
I was going to say, me and Joel are going to be in a similar situation. I've looked at my list and I was like, games I've actually finished that came out in 2022 is surprisingly low. So the only one I can really say is Callisto, because that's 2022. I've been like Joel going through the backlog.
But what was the best platinum you've done then, Steve? Not including games that came out this year.
Best platinum in general.
Yeah, that you've earned in 2022.
Forever.
The best platinum
year.
you've earned in
this year.
2022.
All right, then that's easy. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
Nice.
Going back and cleaning that up, that's that longest redemption arc. First trophy. Finally got the plat.
Well done, kiddo. What about you,
It's a bit
Joel?
of it's a bit of a mix for me because there's a lot that I didn't want to do that I ended up doing.
Is that just every game you played?
Yeah.
You're just playing the backlog, just like, oh,
It's just games I've given.
challenge.
It's just games I gave up on, and then like when I boot them up, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited to like overcome this game, and then after like an hour or two of playing, I'm like, I understand why I gave up on this fucking game back in the day.
People like GTA 5, though.
I'd say GTA 5, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really impressive platinum.
Just because it's the same list as like the PS5 version anyway, so it could kind of count as games that came out this year.
So you're going to do it again, like? Do it for the third
No.
time?
No.
Never.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Oh, I mean,
Definitely not.
so you're not going to help me get it on PS5? That's a shame.
I'll probably
Passing up on boosting.
I might use Emma's account.
Can you not auto pop it, can you not?
I don't know, because like people said you could also pop it, like the online things transfer over on the PS3 to the PS4, but it didn't for me.
I think the PS4 to 5 definitely will, because most of the online service games have done that. You load in, you pop your trophies.
I don't really like auto
Well,
pops though.
it's not worth it then if it's not even ultra rare, though. You better have to do it on the PS4
Yeah.
for that sweet ultra rare ping.
Exactly.
Sweet
I've got
ultra rare.
the PS3 one's going to stay ultra rare because it's unobtainable now.
Oh,
So I'll always have that in my little
I
cabinet.
always have that for EVs. EVs
Yeah, and I
EVs.
think the service for UFC 2 are closing in February as well. So that's another one I'll have forever.
All right. Hardest plat of 2022. Any predictions?
Well, I'd say Elden Ring. Actually, no, Elden Ring was the easiest of the From Software games.
I'm going to be honest with you. God of War is not on it.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It's only like a 4 in it.
God of
That
War
sounds-
only got 3 votes for hardest platinum. Less than 1% of people voted for God of War.
I'm trying to think what games came out. I think Elden Ring will definitely be up there just because it's a From Software game.
I did try looking briefly. I was like, find games 2022 and look at the trophy list, but the amount of research that's required for that, because there's no source to find it all. It was like, ooh.
I'm just trying to think of what games came out this year.
Even Midnight Suns won't count.
I'll tell you again.
Trophy list is easy.
I'll tell you them all again. So we've got Last of Us Part 1, Marvel Midnight Suns, Stray, Elden Ring, God of War, Sifu, Gotham Knights, Dying Light, Callisto Protocol, Ghostwire Tokyo, Horizon, My Name is Mayo, Plague Tale, Sonic Frontiers, Overwatch, Trek to Yomi, Tunic.
Easy then. I'd say Overwatch could be high up there. If it's not Overwatch, it's going to be Sifu before the patch. I don't know if that's going to affect it because it was hard until they patched it and made it easier.
Really an easy way, didn't they?
We've got four strong contenders here, and I'm going to give a special mention again because there is the fourth one is quite prominent. So of all four of these, they have a combined vote of 84% of all votes for these four games. 84%. So there's been some strong memery here, which I absolutely love, because My Name is Mayo actually came fourth with 11.8% of all votes. 50 votes.
I love this community.
Voted for My Name is Mayo 3 is the hardest plat. I mean, it was difficult. My thumbs, the cramp in my thumbs. I mean, I just recovered from my gamer's thumb, my arthritis, and it just came back when I started playing My Name is Mayo. I actually do have gamer's thumb on my left thumb. It's hurting now. Yeah, it's sore now.
Streets of Rage gave me that. That's why I had that brace on for like 3 months. It's the only reason I got XCOM 2 done.
I haven't got gamer's thumb, but I've got wanker's wrist.
Yeah. Mine's from...
everyone's got that, right?
My thumb's not from gaming, my sore thumb. I'm sitting on it too much.
If you haven't got death grip and wanker's wrist, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you are. Oh, yeah, just like, doing something right. Depends. It depends. Depends how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
So in third...
It depends on where you look at it as well.
Yeah. In third place was Sifu with 13% of all votes.
So, surely that's before the patch.
It must be, yeah. So, but yeah, like I know there's a patch. I've got it. If I play it, I'll play without the patch. You gotta.
Same.
Nice one.
You gotta experience it properly, right? You gotta experience the difficulty there, because it's a fighting game, though, right? Like it should be difficult, and I still think the play it looks fantastic. To be fair,
it was designed to be that way. It's not because people complain so much that they made it easy. It was a bad decision for them.
All the viewers are like, "It's so hard, I can't beat it."
Yeah, well,
apply yourself and get better. That's the point of games.
I've only got 6 hours to review this game, though.
It's very similar to Sekiro, from what I've heard. Like the gameplay wise, like the counters and stuff, the parries. It's very similar, like timing wise. And it's martial arts. He doesn't like
kung fu.
The thing, the last game that had like really good kung fu was probably Sleeping Dogs. And I love the combat system in Sleeping Dogs.
But it was a bit Batman Arkham Knight, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it looked cool.
Oh, it looked badass.
Yeah.
Looked badass. I've taken this hat off because I'm getting so hot. Christmas is over, everybody. No more Christmas.
I'm getting quite sweaty.
I've still got my elf on my shelf, so...
Elf's on the shelf. Alright. So, most disappointing game. This is quite a varied list, but there's only 3 outliers. There's a clear third, second, and... Oh, no, sorry. Have I said all the games? I've just missed them all. I've just literally went on the most disappointing game. I haven't told you the hardest platinums yet. Bring it back round. Bring it back round.
Just skip a section.
Yeah. So, 4th place was My Name is Mayo. 2nd place was Sifu. 3rd place was Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
People are clearly miffed about this one. They're like, God damn it, they've added the DLC to the base game and they've made it really hard.
I can't blame them, to be fair. Monster Hunter World did a similar thing.
With what, with the Iceborne?
Oh, with Iceborne.
With Iceborne, yeah, but it's a separate list, though.
But isn't it like Iceborne's like even harder because you basically have to start from your Monster Hunter World save. So if you started fresh, you're like just absolutely screwed.
I don't know how it works.
Sure, it's something like that.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure it's like if you bought Iceborne, you'd be like stuck. Maybe you can level up to level 30 or something, the max level, but then you've got no loot and no gear, so you're like just screwed. It takes longer and longer. So yeah, Overwatch 2, people ain't happy about that, and then finally the hardest game is Elden Ring. 35% of all votes, which is the highest voted section so far. Oh no, God of War was 42 for best game, but hardest platinum Elden Ring. You think that's fair? It probably is most people's hardest game.
It's a bit shocking. It's supposed to be the easiest Souls game, right?
Yeah.
It's like a 5 or something, or 6?
I think it's a 6, yeah. Is it purely because of the open world? So like if you struggle with a boss, you can just come back to him and level up and...
Yeah.
Have you done the plat, Steve?
No, I played it on release for a few streams and then I stopped playing it. What I did play of it, it can be hard because you can go to an area and find someone that you get destroyed by. But that's the beauty of what makes it easier than Bloodborne, because you can just go to a different area, find it where somewhere you can progress and level up, and then go back to other areas
and just absolutely wreck them.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Besides
like story bosses.
I'll just be doing my call for the GuyFarruski signal into the sky. I'll be standing there as a naked class with just my little helmet on, my little club, being like, I need help, I need aid. And GuyFarruski just transcend.
Points his flashlight at the sky.
Yeah.
I think you overestimate my skill level with Souls games. Have you not seen my videos?
I saw you playing Sekiro. You were kicking ass, man.
Oh, Sekiro's different though. Sekiro's easier to master once you nail down the mechanics. Like Souls games, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, it's slightly trickier because the parry window is a lot trickier with Souls games than it is with Sekiro. Like if you miss a parry in Sekiro, you'll still block. If you miss a parry with Bloodborne or Dark Souls, you're just open to get whammed.
Wrecked, son.
I mean, you say that, but Gonorrhea was still kicking my ass, despite that.
Good on Gonorrhea.
On that, I'll say to you, what's the hardest platinum you've both done this year?
It's easy for me, I think.
What is it?
You go first.
Vanquish.
That is an impressive one.
During the challenge, I was losing my shit for a week straight doing that last challenge.
Is that the is it one of the challenges in the game?
It's you get the challenges once you complete the game. I did it on the 360 back in the day, but I couldn't even get past challenge 2, I think, and I rage quitted back then after getting 950 gamer score.
How many challenges is there?
6. The first one is easy. Second one is a bit difficult. Fourth one's in the forest. That's kind of hard, but the last one is diabolical. It is horrible. And again, if you do it without using any glitches, which of course don't, you're gonna be raging.
Isn't that the one that separates it from like being a 9 out of 10 and a 6 out of 10?
Without that challenge, it'd be like a 3 out of 10.
Even on the don't you have to play the game on the hardest difficulty though?
You do, and you're not supposed to die either. But if you do die, you just don't load your save. And you just quit to main menu and carry on from there. So it's irrelevant. The game's not that hard. It's literally that challenge. That challenge is a nightmare. 6-7 hours, I think. It's like a really parody of like Chinese trying to do a really cheesy American movie kind of thing. So it's hilarious but cool at the same time.
But you know, like, how long did the plot actually take you then?
That included maybe 25 hours, 30 hours.
I'm playing it.
Dude, like, besides that one challenge, I got through most of it in like 12 hours, 10 hours. And it was just that one challenge that took me like a week of raging on my Discord and going losing my shit.
I know a lot of people who have planned this game who could guide little baby PlatinumBro through the difficulty.
Don't glitch it though, you can't glitch it.
I'm a walking glitch.
Honor.
Oh no! Honor! Honor. I did Mile High Club with Honor. That was my hardest. I don't know, my hardest platinum was the Fire Team. I don't know because...
Oh yeah, Fire Team.
I don't know because I've said that. But also like...
Vanquish was hard in the Fire Team.
Was it? Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The thing about Fire Team is like, you do have people helping you, right? So like, even if your skill's a little bit under par, you're playing with people who are really good as well. I did think it was very difficult. But I actually think Mile High Club was more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you just rinse and repeat dying. I mean, it took us 600 attempts to beat Mile High Club. 600.
You still did it in under 1,000 deaths though.
Well, that's true. I'm a proper Chad gamer.
Yeah.
What about you, Joel?
I'd say mine's going to be Metal Gear Solid 5.
Because of the grind?
I found the S ranks, some of the S ranks were quite difficult. And it was like the time it took as well. I was going to say Injustice 2, but Injustice 2 wasn't that hard. It was just
soul destroying.
It was just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5 required effort. So I'd say it would be Metal Gear Solid 5.
Well done, gentlemen. Got some good plats this year.
We all got some good plats.
We did.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So, most disappointing game of 2022. Any predictions?
Gotham Knights.
Gotham's going to be there, yeah.
Any other predictions?
Probably not. Gotham Knights is probably the standout. I mean, we were disappointed, right? Because we were talking about it before when it was announced, hoping it was going to be 4-player co-op, and then it was like, no, 2-player co-op.
I'm going to say maybe Sifu because they patched it.
So it's actually quite even. The three main games, they got 60% of all votes, but My Name is Mail got 4% votes. Horizon Forbidden West got 25 votes. Ghostwire Tokyo got 15 votes. Dying Light 2 got 20 votes. all under 5%, but noticeable on the graph. In third place was actually Callisto Protocol with 14% of all votes.
Ouch.
Were you disappointed though, Steve?
Hell no.
You weren't. There wasn't a little bit of you that thought it's a good game, but it's not as good as I thought it was going to be, and I feel a bit overhyped.
Only on the combat, like I said, but it wasn't that bad to basically I'm disappointed with this. It was still enjoyable. It just wasn't as difficult as I wanted it to be in that regards, but other than that, it was still enjoyable. And I was hyped for the game.
Was it everything you thought it was going to be, though?
I was expecting it to be scarier, but I'm not sure if I'm numb to that because I've done Dead Space on the 360, the PS3, and I've played it so much, even that doesn't scare me now, so maybe that's the problem.
Plus, you have no feelings, so...
Yeah,
that's the main reason. You're dead inside.
Pretty numb, pretty robotic.
Maybe the next time you play a scary game, just get Lewis to lend you his fridge.
Mm.
That
You'd be sitting there like this, and just go...
Just Cinema 4D, right?
You'll think your PS5 is going to implode. You'll be like, it's not my PlayStation 5, no! Please don't die. My PlayStation 5 started breaking again. So I remember ages ago, 6-7 months ago, I remember saying when I got it, the disc tray is absolutely fucked. And you can open your PS5 and then you can unscrew the disc tray and it forcefully ejects the game. That doesn't work. So you just twist it and nothing happens. So there's clearly something wrong with the actual disc tray. And
I'll tell you what, I can understand why there may be problems with that because I don't know if it's just me. Oh, something's happened.
What's happened?
Oh, everybody paused. Was it just on my side?
On yours.
Stop downloading. It's really awkward putting the disc in.
Mm.
I feel like the disc goes in the wrong way round.
Oh, it does.
If
it's
they should have made it so the disc went in the other way round.
I agree.
Because there's you don't have that much space to grab it unless you want to touch the physical disc, and I hate touching the physical disc.
Not give a little stroke. Little kiss before it goes in. Let's play let's have some fun, baby.
I better stop rubbing my junk on Joel's Sekiro disc.
Yeah. Put it in the hole.
It's yours.
I can violate as much as I want. Yeah,
you can.
You can put it where you want. You can put whatever you want in it. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Yeah. So it's broken anyway. I'm probably gonna just take it. I'm at my warranty now anyway. I feel like there's probably just something loose, but I don't want to open it up to see. So I'm probably gonna just take it somewhere and be like, don't break it because I will burn your store down. But fix it.
Have a look. No pressure, but just ignore this knife that's in my hand and get it fixed. I'll have a look through the old internet and I'll see how easy it is to do.
I've heard
PS4's people were like, oh, it's hard to do, and I did a few of them, but my old job.
Yeah.
So if it's the same sort of layout, it should be fine. You might have to get a new disk drive.
Yeah, that's alright. That's alright. But the problem was Chivalry was stuck in it, and I was getting annoyed with the game because I kept glitching, and I was like, I want to play something else. What it does is it just goes, and it doesn't stop until you turn the PlayStation off. So I'm just sitting there, just like, please stop. It just wouldn't.
I'm surprised you get in there at tweezers and try to pull the disc out.
I was like, I'm playing this game. I have no choice. And that's for me, who has mainly physical. I'm like, this is really. As someone there's probably someone out there who plays digital mainly, and their disc tray works fine, and they don't even use it. And I'm like, I like physical games. I only put discs in, and then I am the one with a broken disc tray on my PlayStation.
Sod's law.
I know, absolute sod's law.
That's karma for all the grubbies you got in the past. It
is. All right, so in second place for most disappointing game was Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it not a good game?
I just think people were expecting something more from it, and they got more of the same. So
isn't it just like a reskin of the first game?
Pretty much.
I know. Something that they found annoying is that a lot of the original characters are put behind paywalls, or put behind excessive leveling up. So you get your new characters, and they might be level 20 before you knock the original characters you loved.
The developers just all sit down in a room and say, "How are we going to make this game piss everybody off?"
Well, it's free to play, isn't it?
She came in with suggestions like, "Oh, just make it DLC in the trophy list." And somebody else was like, "Oh, let's put the favorite characters behind paywalls." And the CEO was like, "That's good, boys. That's good. Get it done."
I can see the money now.
Controversy creates cash, right?
Because free to play
possible.
It's free to play, right?
What is wrong with people then?
The original wasn't free to play, was it? But the original now doesn't work, does it? the original, because it's free to play, I'm pretty sure the original disc doesn't work anymore because Overwatch 1 is now part of Overwatch 2. I'm pretty sure that's true. So if you actually buy the Overwatch disc, it just wouldn't work.
I remember looking at the store when it was switching over during transition period. It said Overwatch on the store when you were buying it. It was like 20 quid, but it said Overwatch 2 on the graphics for it. So they were kind of transitioning, so I think it is the same game now.
Yeah, but Overwatch 2 is free to play though, right? So should they be selling Overwatch 1 with an Overwatch 2 logo for £20 when Overwatch 2 is free to play?
Exactly.
That's a bit that's cheeky. That's immoral.
I think it'd be delisted unless the disc works, like you said, go computer exchange.
That would have been one of the other guys' suggestions.
Yeah. We'll make it. Well, yeah. Well, what we'll do, guys, to keep the money going is we'll just change the Overwatch 1 stuff on the PSN store, Overwatch 2. We'll charge them for it. They won't know about it, so it's free to play for most people. But if someone's stupid enough to buy Overwatch 1, haha, it's free to play anyway. Mugs.
There was one good thing that came out of all this Overwatch drama is that I found out there's a lot of Overwatch porn out there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
There's surprisingly a lot of Overwatch porn out there.
Yeah, well,
that's quite juicy as well. Rule 34.
Exactly. I was literally about to say that. Rule 34. Yeah. If something exists, there is porn of it.
Yeah. It's glorious.
It's amazing. All right, our most disappointing game is Gotham Knights. No shock.
As expected.
When you look at the gameplay from Arkham Knight to Gotham Knights, you're like, how did they get this so wrong? They had the groundwork. Like, this is what people have played and loved. I know it wasn't Rocksteady who did it, but like, look what they did. They mastered it. This is what it was going to be. And then Suicide Squad is made by Rocksteady, which is coming out. So hopefully that'll just mimic that gameplay and be 4-player co-op and be the best thing ever. But Gotham Knights...
I can understand what they were trying to do to a certain point. I think they were trying to make themselves different to the formula, but they just used their own... The formula they used was just wrong.
There must have been something like the open world they've made didn't work for 4 players. Like, it was they just probably couldn't have put enough enemies on the screen, and it would have been too easy. And then the only option would have been to make the thugs have more health. Which, if you played Avengers, you know how shit it is when you're rocking up as Thor, and it takes you literally like 18 combos to bring down man with gun. And you're like, I thought I was a God of Thunder. I literally can't beat this robot.
I should just fire on you and eviscerate your entire squad.
Yeah, exactly. What is this? No. I'm literally pounding some guy with everything I've got, and I've literally got no stamina left, and he just killed me. You're like,
Yeah.
So they probably saw Avengers and thought, we don't want to do that. But also, I watched a review by SkillUp, and he said that the game is heavily like looter shooter, like heavily that sort of monetization, and he's like, there's no microtransactions in it, but it feels very much like it was meant to be like Avengers. But they saw how bad Avengers was that they couldn't then put microtransactions in, but they left the main gameplay because they couldn't change the gameplay because it was too far gone. So it's like you pick it up and you're like, this feels like Avengers. The loot is terrible. The customization is awful. It feels like I should pay, but I can't pay, so I just have to play the game excessively to unlock the things that originally was going to be microtransactions, which isn't better, really.
It's like it's taking away the pay option, but you still got to do the grind regardless.
Yeah.
We're not changing that.
Yeah.
There's no pay, but there's double grind. Have fun. They probably plan on doing like XP boosts, but now they're like, well, you can't do that. We can't charge you for that. So XP boosts in games are pretty... I think it's okay for multiplayer, but like when it's like, if you buy this XP boost, you can get through our game faster. You're like, well, why do I want to get through your game faster if it's a good game? Oh, well, we're just saying, if you want to.
That's like Ubisoft's slogan, isn't it?
That's Ubisoft, like, yeah.
Great games,
and don't worry, we can help you get to them faster if you give us more money.
To do it with like Origins and Odyssey, allowing you to buy ship upgrades and stuff, faster materials for it, and they charge an extortionate amount of price, like tons of money for a bit of wood.
Yeah, like and £10 or something.
Yeah. Or Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, you can go in the store and buy the packs for like £5 or £1 on offer to get all the unlockables, so you can just run through the game a lot easier.
Excellent.
Unpopular opinion, but I enjoyed going through the question marks and Origins because of the world. I thought Origins world was a lot better than Odyssey.
Origins, I really loved it. Egypt was gorgeous.
I loved it.
I think Ubisoft, they always make amazing worlds. Like, I don't want to take that away from them. Like, even when I played Watch Dogs Legion set in London, I was like, the world they've built is amazing. It's so beautiful. It's so detailed. It's just the game is shit. The gameplay is shit. Everything. The
gameplay is just copy paste.
Look at that.
Bayek
is a great character.
I have Origins edition of that game, and it was more than worth it.
I have Origins and all DLC. I went through this phase where whenever that DLC was on sale, I bought it. So I have like all the Arkham City DLC for like £7 Origins DLC. But I think I've said to myself, I'm not going to play Origins. I was like, I don't want to spend 100 hours on a game anymore that I'm not sure if I'm going to love, which I know I won't, actually.
Have you played Odyssey?
No. I've seen my brother play. My brother played that and Valhalla loads. I've seen plenty of gameplay on them both.
I'd say if you're going to choose one to play out of them three, Origins is definitely the choice.
But then Valhalla's set in Northumbria, where I'm from. You can go raid. You can like literally do what someone probably did to my ancestors. Rock up in some village and just kill some people.
But do you really want to get 700 or 800 collectibles however many it is?
No. When I was in Denmark, I went to the museum, and there's obviously the big Viking section. You're reading it like, you know what? England did cause a lot of wars. You know, come like 1200. You know, it's funny because as soon as like you read 1200, it's like every other story's like, and then England invaded, and then they had a battle with England. But before then, England got absolutely destroyed by the Vikings. Then as soon as the Vikings left after like 20 years, William the Conqueror just came in and was like, "All right, boys, I'm gonna take this as well." England had a hard time the first 1,000 years AD. It was getting penged non-stop.
A lot of it's a part Viking though, right? Because they impregnated a lot of lasses, so
Yeah.
That's no excuse.
No. Well, I'm only from like 30 miles from Lindisfarne. Like where they landed, yeah, that's where I'm from. I don't live there. I live like 20 miles away from that now, but that's where I was from.
It explains the glorious beards and monstrous back.
I know, but I've got really dark hair though, and being in Denmark, like everybody's got really fair hair. Like in England, you don't see that many blonde men, but over there, I would say like half of the men had really fair hair. Like people were looking at my hair. I mean, obviously the sick quiff, but everyone's like that
legendary quiff.
That man is so pasty and his hair's so dark. I'm just like, hello.
Did they all look like Thor?
Few did. There's some handsome men and women there, definitely.
A few hench fours walking around.
And Emily's got really fair hair, and a few people thought she was Danish. We'll be walking somewhere like, and they just start talking around Danish, which was just like.
Did you get any deals?
No sick deals.
Oh,
just excessively extortionate prices. That was the deal. You probably saw me like wandering around like looking all like this, all the buildings. All that guy is a tourist. That guy's a chump.
Get him.
Charge him more.
Charge him double.
Yeah, it was daylight robbery over there. To be fair, have we talked about the most disappointing game? We have. Yeah, Goth Knights.
Yeah,
all
we
over
have.
the place. Okay, so we've got our last section now, which is the best guest on the Platinum Podcast 2022. So this is a new section I want to do every year because I feel like I want to give an award to someone for being the best guest. So we've had 6 guests. We've had Adam McDermott. We've had Ludi XP. We've had Tyler Bayliss. We've had JJ and Adrian from the Pixel Perspective podcast. We've had Sharf, 3 Point Gaming, and we've had Nick AR. So I'm not going to go through this one in too much detail. I don't be like, oh, this person got no votes. No one voted for Tyler. God bless him.
Oh, I mean, I could expect that happened. I mean, he's not released a video in like 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. There's actually been more votes since there's been like 8 more votes.
Has it changed the results?
Has it tilted the results?
It has.
Oh,
he wouldn't tell us before. It was cock teasing. He would not tell us.
I think we should stick to the votes that were there before.
So no, I'm gonna be true. There's been 7 votes since we started this podcast. I should have probably closed it. So
that
now,
was Joel voting on all 7 accounts.
Yeah, it was. So now we actually have a tied first.
Oh.
So originally we had one person was 3 votes ahead, and now they've tied it.
You'll have to let us know afterwards who that was.
No, I will. I'm going to read off. I'm going to read it. I will let you after. I'll just let you know.
Have you closed the votes though?
Nah.
In case somebody else votes for us.
I'm just going to fluctuate. Third place. Oh no, wait, another second place.
Steve's like, vote.
Don't tempt me.
Don't tempt me, Frodo. Okay, so I'll do third and join. I'll do second and join first. So in second place is Adam McDermott. So well done, Adam.
Hey!
You got second best guest of the Platinum Podcast in 2022.
Even though we all know that you voted yourself with your alternate 500 accounts.
He did.
Well done, and you still finished second. Well done.
Well done, Adam.
What an achievement.
Adam's a great guest. All of our guests, to be fair, they're all, were so amazing. Like, I love Tyler to bits. He's so funny. He's on my level. I think he gets on with us really well. JJ and Adrian were just full of so much wisdom, and they've got so much knowledge of collecting, and it was just so interesting hearing a completely different perspective on the podcast. It just
flew by. It flew by.
It was Adrian's background, though.
Oh, it was gorgeous. And
it was glorious.
It was so interesting hearing about them, like the game and how they hunt games and stuff, and it was just so interesting.
how similar it was to trophy hunting.
Yeah, it was, right?
Because like their grinding is like going through these like car boot sales or like places with deals and stuff, and like finding it and then going there and being like disappointed. That's like us going for a trophy and then it's glitched.
And then obviously, yeah, like they're boosting together, aren't they? Like, come on, JJ,
Yeah.
we need to help each other out. We need to find some deals.
Yeah,
Um,
it was really interesting.
I like them both. I've been listening to the podcast a lot, and I still talk to JJ now. I still send JJ TikToks every day. And Steve's on TikTok now, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah,
Steve. So I'll start sending you loads of memes.
I already know the first one I'm going to post on there when I film it, and it's that one I told you about, but it's a secret.
Oh, secret TikTok.
Secret.
I like secrets.
And obviously Shah was he's just such a nice guy, so funny as well. So easy to talk to. He's got a great channel. And of course Adam is a chill guy. And I'd personally, Adam's taught me so much about YouTube this year, the few times we've met up. Like speaking to him and how he writes stories and how he scripts things and like the reasons behind things he does, and like I think telling stories really, speaking to Adam about writing stories, telling stories really has helped my channel grow massively, or at least grow the style of content I've done to help my style of content grow massively. So thanks, Adam, buddy. So the only two people I haven't spoke about clearly is because these are joint first. So our joint first winners are LudiXP and Nick AR.
Hey!
Bravo, the pair of you. You both won Best Guest on the Platinum Podcast. Bravo. Both excellent people.
GG.
Excellent guests. Very, very fun to talk to. Very different. Obviously, Lucy's incredibly chaotic, but also very fun. And we've
boundless energy.
She has got endless energy. And Nick's just a passionate, motivated man who can beat incredibly hard games. So props to him for that as well. And he's obviously blown up. I think when he was on the podcast, he had about 8,000 subs. I was like 180,000. So sky's the limit for that kid. So well done, everybody. You're
welcome, Nick. We made you popular. You can cut that out.
Well, who knows? I'm gonna leave it in. You're welcome. You're welcome, Nick. We've carried you. We've lifted you to where you are.
All
now.
I can say is that you're welcome.
So that's the awards done for the year. How sad.
It's over.
It went by fast.
I like the awards because I think it gives. Obviously, people can vote and stuff, but these are our awards. These are the awards from everybody who watches the podcast regularly. Everyone in the Discord, everyone on my YouTube channel, and people who watch me obviously watch GuyFarruski, watch VaultBoySteve. So it's good that everyone gets their say, because everyone, we all know the real game awards are quite. You don't know how much is involved politically.
We should have another new section next year for like the worst co-host.
Yes.
Where people vote the person they hate the most on the podcast. Like
that's a great idea.
Between us three.
That's a great idea.
And then we'll have a spectrum of like who's the most hated person.
That sounds exciting. That sounds really exciting. I want to know that. Yeah. So for the podcast going forward, I might as well just give a bit of an update on how the podcast went this year. I think it's been really good. I think we've had some excellent guests. We're talking about Platinums because Joe was like, "Oh, Platinums, are they not on the awards?" I was like, "No, we haven't actually had them for a year. We haven't been speaking in 2022," which is always weird because when you watch people on YouTube and stuff, you feel like you see them more regularly than you actually do.
Definitely.
But, I've only really spoken to Lucy like in calls and stuff, like probably like 5 or 6 times throughout the year. But it feels like because you watch their channels and stuff, you feel like you see them more.
It's because you're always updated, aren't you?
Yeah, you're always updated.
You always get, especially with Lucy, because like she does vlogs, so you kind of always know what's going on in her life.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
I agree.
So we've had some good guests going forward. We've got 2 guests lined up. One for January, one for February. I don't like to do 2. I don't like to plan too far in advance because it's hard enough to get somebody to commit in 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, but asking someone to prepare for 4 months' time is like, it's just not going to happen, right? But I want to try and reach out to some other channels. If you have suggestions for people you'd like to see on the podcast, let me know down below.
I've got a suggestion.
Go on, who?
We should get Johnny Sins on.
Oh yes.
The Sininator.
Yeah, I mean he's done everything from astronaut to doctor to fireman. I mean I'm sure he's a gamer as well.
He's probably
it has to be a trophy.
He's probably hunted plenty of trophies back in his time. He's probably beat them all as well. He probably doesn't even try.
It's just in between his shoots, you know.
Yeah,
Big trophy
exactly.
and a
It
quick
just
clap.
looks at the game and just the
Plat-
PlayStation
Platinum's-
5 controller starts to get moist, and then the
Oh, yeah.
trophies just unlock. So, I can't imagine gaming next to him. Maybe someday.
Those plats pop harder than he does.
Aye.
Johnny Sins' face. Johnny Sins every time he gets a platinum.
Yeah.
To hell of it, we'll all shave our heads.
Well, we're going to go to we're going to Comic-Con in Liverpool next year.
We are.
And Steve, I've told him he should go as Kratos, but now I feel like he should just go as Johnny Sins.
Yeah.
As long as you get a skull. Look, Steve, whatever you're going to cosplay as, we'll just get you a bald cap and you can just put it on, because that could be Johnny Sins, because Johnny Sins has played so many roles. What's to say Johnny Sins hasn't cosplayed as a Power Ranger or as Star-Lord or as Doctor Who? He probably has.
Exactly. You
So
can
you
do one on each
basically-
day. You know,
you basically-
combine it.
You've always, if you've got a skull cap on at any time, a bald cap, you could be Johnny Sins.
I could pull Johnny Sins off
I
with a
think you
bald
could.
cap.
You could.
I've
got it where it counts. So that's all I'm going to say.
I've seen Steve naked. He can definitely pull
It's
off.
got the
the Johnny
girth.
Sins.
It's got the girth
Yeah.
for it. It's got the girth in the biceps.
Yeah.
That's all you need. That's just Johnny
all it
Sins
needs.
embodied.
I've been compared to a DualSense controller. Let's just say that.
Steve is actually Johnny Sins, but improved because he still has hair.
That's it. That's it. That's the way.
For now.
For now. So yeah, as well, we've had Steve on a lot this year. He's been on 12 out of the 12 episodes. I think you've been in 9 of them, Steve.
9.
Yeah, 9 of the 12.
9.
I think 2 of them were in person anyway, or 1 of them was in person. Oh no, 2 of them were in person, because me and Joel did a meetup, didn't we, Joel? Just me and you at the beginning of the year in like February, I think.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So of 10 of the actual digital podcasts, I think you've been in at least 8 of them, or maybe 9 of them. So hence why you've been offered your co-host status. And it's been a pleasure, buddy, having you on here. And I can't see the podcast without you anymore.
It's
No,
been
I
awesome
can't.
the entire
Can't
time.
say it.
It's always a laugh.
Yeah. And people have been asking about Spotify, and I was a bit hesitant about it because I didn't think this would translate to audio only. However, Spotify now have a video podcast option, so we can upload them all as video podcast. However, I'm working on the thumbnail. I'm at the point where like I don't want to just dump it on with a bad thumbnail, because obviously the reviews and stuff you get so early on are so important that I really just want to get the perfect thumbnail that embodies, the channel or the podcast and us three and stuff. So I'm working on ideas for that. So it might take a while. I'd like to get it up in January, but we'll just see. And then I'm gonna do a giveaway for 5-star reviews. So like, I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I think people who watch it all the time and stuff, I'm gonna do something like, if you give it a 5-star rating and share with me on Twitter or something, I'm gonna give away like a copy of God of War or something to whoever gives it a 5-star. So that is exciting. You have a chance to watch it on the fly more, not have to use all of your data to watch the YouTube while you're walking the dog or doing something like that. You can now just download it on your phone and you'll be good to go. But give us a little bit of time to get going on that. Then if you two have any reflections on the year?
That's just been absolutely epic.
Yeah,
In every regard.
it has been epic actually.
It's gone
Gaming
fast.
wise, definitely.
Mm.
I've achieved a lot, I think. I've got platinums on games I've never thought I'd go back to, so that's always a big thing. And I got a PS5, so that was just that was just the highlight.
Excellent. No, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I couldn't ask for anything more. Great friends, obviously. We did a few meetups as well. The three of us actually met up. Well, the three of us together only met up once, didn't we?
We had a magical time though. I went to go see Dragon Ball.
yeah.
We did have a match.
Dragon Ball
we did,
Super, and it was an amazing film.
wasn't it?
And I think that film is so good because I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in ages, but that film is a great superhero film.
Mm.
It's not just a great Dragon Ball Z film. It's not a great anime film. It's a great superhero film, and I remember like watching it, being like, I generally think anybody who likes Marvel could watch that film by itself and be like, shit, that is amazing.
Yeah, because it's the right length as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't drag on. It doesn't have like what the anime has, which is like a bit of filler, so the episodes last long. It was just straight to the point.
In fact, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
You've got it now. Oh, we can watch it again.
Is it out? Isn't it out yet?
I don't think it is. No, it's still not
Oh.
out. I've been dying for the Blu-ray. I want to watch it a third time. I'm dying to watch it again.
Because we actually when we watched it, because we're massive nerds, we watched it like 10 o'clock, right? Didn't we?
Yeah,
We got back like
Something late,
midnight,
yeah.
and then Steve was like, should we just watch Dragon Ball Z Broly? We ended up watching that. And Joel's like, oh, Broly's the best one.
Sorry.
And I've watched. Does Emma want to say hi? Is she gone?
Do you want to say hi, Emma? Emma,
She's like, sod this, I'm gone.
do you want to say hi?
I can't say no after you said, do you want to? Hi.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
You okay? Can she hear us or not? Gone.
No, I've got my headphones on. They all say hi.
Oh,
I forgot I had my headphones on.
Tell her what new hair suits her.
I was about
You
to say that, Steve.
That smells and
They-
leaves.
Huh?
So that's a bonus.
They both say your new hair suits you.
Oh,
I was also just saying, I actually think it was better than Broly. I've seen like Resurrection F,
Oh yeah.
the
I'm
one
still
before
there.
that, the Gods Battles of Gods, and I think it's Dragon Ball Superhero is
It's just
better.
perfect. It's like the original Dragon Ball theme of a story,
Yeah.
mixed with the action and combat, and it's just got such a good vibe. And like it goes by so fast despite it being long.
I agree.
It's just brilliant, and it's so accessible for new viewers. It explains
Definitely.
everything you need to know. And Joel introduced me to Broly. He was like, I watched this first time I went round, and I loved that film. I was like, this is absolutely amazing. It's the best thing I've seen from Dragon Ball.
Uh-huh.
But that film, I was like, yeah, agreed. It's just tops Broly because it's got everything you want.
And what about you, Steve? How's your year of gaming podcasting been?
Extremely fun. Extremely fun. Made a lot of progress, especially as a gamer as well. And I've had a lot of fun time gaming for once.
Good.
So it's good.
I think we're all growing up, aren't we, in terms of trophy hunting, and we're all finding our own way more than maybe a couple of years ago. Where like
Yeah. We've blossomed. So
Yeah.
I can say, right? We found our little niche.
you find your way of gaming, don't you, as well? And like you find your way of trophy hunting. Like I think I've got a good mix of both now, and I think I didn't in the past. And it's just like, as you grow up and you reflect and you get, you become more yourself, who you want to be, right?
Yeah.
And
Always changing.
Yeah.
always changing, evolving.
We all change, but that's okay. That's good. You got to keep moving.
You do.
As the 11th Doctor says.
Roll
I
with the
think
punches.
we're getting to that stage now where we're at that age of like chilling. I don't rage half as much as I used to.
I know. I was shocked. I've been watching you
seriously.
stream.
I do not rage half as much, and I see that like 'cause obviously I'm doing a video now about Star Wars, and I'm obviously watching back on the footage, and I'm thinking to myself, I was like 4 years ago, I would have like flung the controller, ended the stream, and been like pissy for about a week.
Mate, you've transferred that rage to me. It's like this rubbed off. It's just like a bad smell. It's just on me now, and I'm
I'm just-
raging constantly.
I'm just so much calmer now. I don't know why. I think I'm just like I just can't be arsed with like the stress.
I love I do really like watching other people stream, especially when I'm like when it's people I know really well. And every time I join both your streams, I always try and annoy you. And I was really trying to get you to rage, Joel, when you were getting killed. And I was like, have you tried blocking? Have you tried using the force? I've heard the best way to beat this is to kill the enemies. It was like you were taking on the chin so well. I could see the rage, like it was under the surface, but that's all it ever was. And I was like,
It's bubbling.
he's holding.
I had
his own
so
well.
many things like bubbling in my head that I just thought, no, mate, just keep it together. Keep it together.
Composed.
Composed.
Chloe's in.
I think it's because I find like if I rage too much, I lose control when I'm gaming.
Mm.
So I perform worse. Whilst if I learn from what I've done and actually like concentrate a bit more and just take it on the chin. I'm quite good at taking it on the chin now.
I know you are.
Steve can attest to that.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
Nice.
I've evolved. I've evolved in that way. I'm no longer the
Mm.
I'm no longer the pissy teenager that throws his toys out the cot, literally.
Nice.
And all my
Out the
equipment,
cage.
all my equipment thanks me for it.
Yeah, they do.
It's a lot less casualties, I think.
And your wallet as well.
Yeah.
Although I was still quite suspicious of Joel's rage, so when he came to play Wolfenstein, I gave him the black controller rather than the brand new one. I was like,
Yeah.
Was it,
just in case.
was it like covered in cushions and stuff? Like, this is yours. Like holding like this.
Yeah. I was like, this could fly through the TV.
Had bubble wrap and everything.
That was you. He bubble wrapped you as well.
Yeah. There was a screen
Oh, yeah.
on top. There was a screen in front of like the screens you get when you go shopping, like with
Yeah.
when you go to the hospital. There's those screens with the
plastic cover screens.
The receptionist. There was one in front of the TV. That's why I died so much in Wolfenstein. I just couldn't see it properly.
Did you bubble wrap your hands as well in case you started throwing your fists?
It didn't help that I actually made it play in German.
So you
Yeah,
did
no
it
idea what was
bubble wrap.
happening. The dude was like, stop moving, stop Blazkowicz, and he was saying German. He was like, oop, straight into the beams, dead.
I done like 3 times in a row. And I was like, why am I dying? Like, what is it? What? And then I tried shooting him. And Steve was like, no, he's an ally. You can't shoot him. I was like, oh.
And I was just there laughing, losing my shit. It's good.
Yeah.
And Joel kept his cool. Despite
I
that.
It did. It did.
I did.
Bravo. I think that's a good place to end it, gents.
Yeah, I think so.
We've had a good episode, good year. And thank you everybody for voting. And all I'm going to say is don't forget that if you actually want us to start every episode having Steve eat something really gross, let us know down below. And
what have I done?
Your ideas. And we'll pull our ideas together and think of the worst things ever. And well done to Lucy and well done to Nick for winning the best guest of the year 2022. Bravo. And don't forget to check out both the boys' channels, GuyFarruski and VaultBoySteve. That's it.
Bye-bye.
Sayonara.
Peace.